Tara. This is my mother. What's your name?
Jill.
Jill.
In case you forgot.
Okay, sorry. Trying to get on YouTube or Facebook. We are the authors of the Dining on a Dime cookbook to help you eat better, spend less today. First trip to the grocery store. I have, just so you guys know, about 25 books left at the discounted 25% off price. Price is going up on the next shipment we get in hopefully late August, or at the rate we're going, December. We having issues with printing. We are not having this edition anymore. We're going to have a different setup just because our book has gotten too big. So we're having a little bit of
trouble with my chair, if you can't tell.
So livingonadime.com to go get your Dining on a Dime cookbook. Today we are talking about easy summer dinner recipes for the family. Now, this is something that we have been asked to have. So we're giving it to you.
You're giving it to me or to them?
To them.
Oh, to them.
Mom lives in Kansas where it's hot.
Yeah, it's really hot and humid.
I grew up in Kansas where it's hot and we didn't hardly use the air conditioner. Mom wouldn't turn the air conditioner on until we were like 3:30 in the afternoon until like 5, and then we had to turn it off again, and we roasted.
Poor thing.
So we know about cooking when you're cooking.
But she lived to tell about it, didn't you? And look how tough you are now.
Deb got her cookbook. Yay, Deb! I'm so happy for you. Okay, so today we are talking about easy summer meals. Do you want to start, Mom, or do you want me to start?
You can start.
Oh, I don't want to start.
I don't know.
Okay, and also one other thing. We have a new re-edited set of Crock-Pot ebooks. We are offering for free. Dave just typeset them and got them all spiffied up for us and everything. And we are offering them for free. But here's the catch. Only until tomorrow night, Thursday, June what, Mike?
11th.
June 11th.
Dave's birthday!
Oh, Dave. And let me show you. Here is the new style. Our new printer hasn't come yet, but look at that. Excuse me. Excuse me. Look at our new.
Yeah, it's too zoomed out.
Look at our new
But we can kind of see.
color pictures on every recipe.
You know what I like about this, the way Dave did it, was you've got all the recipe or all the ingredients listed on one side, so you can see them at a glance, but then right next to it on this side is the ingredients, so you don't have to go through the whole list of ingredients to get, instructions, to get to the instructions. They're right next to each other, and you can glance back and forth really easy, so I really like the layout on that.
It is totally free, $29 value, totally free. Mike's putting the link in there, livingonadime.com. Go to our shop, and you can find it right there next to the Dining on a Dime cookbook. You must use the coupon, and guys, if you don't use the coupon, we can't go in and give refunds. We do not have the manpower to do that for people, so you're the one who has to be responsible for doing that. And but it is completely 100% free.
Free crock pot.
Aw, thanks,
free
Jonathan. Dave, Jonathan just gave you Taco Bell money. Happy birthday. What were you, big something or another? What were you requesting?
Oh, it's a Big Dipper from
He wants
Pizza
a
Hut.
Big Dipper from Pizza Hut, so we will use it for that, Jonathan. You are so nice. All right, here we go. Now, this actually is not... We have our crock pot ebooks coming out because it's hot and everybody likes to use their crock pots. But this isn't actually totally about crock pot cooking. Now, we are going to touch on the crock pot just a little bit. But it's more in how you set things up and get prepared instead of actually turning on the oven and turning on the stove. Now, for the crock pot, my biggest tip is to get crock pot liners. Everybody hates cleaning the crock pot, and that's totally fine. But they don't want to spend 25 cents on crock pot liners, so instead they'll go spend $40 at McDonald's for the whole family.
Because it's too hot to cook, so they want to go out.
Yeah. So make it easy for yourself. Use paper plates. I know I get the paper plate hate mail all the time. It's finally stopped a little bit. But, guys, there's nothing wrong with spending 1 or 2 cents per person on a paper plate to save you some headache in the kitchen. They're compostable. It's a renewable energy source, so don't give me none of that baloney.
Well, and two, we tend to buy more convenient foods.
Yeah.
And if you use paper plates, you don't have to buy quite as many convenient foods too, you know, which saves you money in the long run then.
Yeah. The second thing is put your crock pot outside or out in the garage or somewhere not in your house. A crock pot really does heat up a kitchen almost as much as an oven does. And I know people aren't going to believe it, but it really does.
Well, a lot of people don't know too that ovens are more energy efficient as far as being insulated better. So it costs less to do your stuff in the oven than it does in a crock pot. So you get some of the heat still a little bit with the crock pot.
Yeah. So those are my things. Now, honestly, I don't use my crock pot. We have a crock pot ebook, which is free right now for those of you just joining us. It's free in our store. It's a new, newly edited version of our crock pot ebooks that we had. But here's the thing. Most crock pot recipes that you'll find on the internet, the food is mushy and gross. And it all tastes the same, and you're like, give me something that actually tastes good.
It works good for certain things, really good. The same way microwaving, you can use it on a lot of things to warm stuff up, and it makes it okay. But then, you know, I wouldn't really want to cook a chicken in the microwave full, you know, certain things just don't cook real well in a microwave, and the crock pot is the same way.
Yeah. So, you know, those are my couple of bigger tips for using the crock pot. I mean, what do I do? Oh, we forgot our demo. Shoot. I pre-cook, this is one of our tips, but for the crock pot, I have pre-cooked things like when I do a roast chicken, I'll shred up the chicken and put it in packets to save for later in the freezer. Hamburger, I don't cook 1 pound of hamburger, I cook 5 and then I put it in packets, that kind of thing. We're going to get into that a little bit more. But when you use foods like that for your crock pot, it's so easy. It absolutely drives me crazy when I see crock pot freezer meals and they take the chicken breast and then they pour a jar of salsa and then they pour taco seasoning in there, and you're like, you can't just pour that in the crock pot. Why are we wasting a freezer bag and putting it in the freezer? This makes no sense. So try to not make more work for yourself. To me, that's more work. Well, it is more work to take a freezer bag, get your hands all sticky and gross and everything, touching the chicken, putting it in the freezer bag, putting it in the freezer, then you got to defrost it, then you got to put it in the crock pot.
Then you got to shove it in there, you know, store it with the other food and stuff.
So just pour your chicken with your salsa and your taco
the day
seasoning
that you're
in
going to
there.
use it, yeah.
It's so much easier. So, all right. So, we're going to let Mom, have I ever cooked with a solar oven? No, but I would love to get a solar oven. I think that would be so cool. Our friend Jonathan, hey Jonathan, he has one, but I have not done it. I think that would be pretty cool. So solar oven people, you send me one and I'll give it a try. But, all right, go for it, Mom.
I love the way she tells me to go for it, and I don't know what I'm going for.
Just a second. Rosary said, did you see the crock pot cookbook is free, and to whom? To anybody who uses the coupon.
Yeah, a lot of people are confused. They're asking, is it for anybody, and what's the coupon code?
The coupon code is right there on the sales page. It's free crock pot. But just go to the sales page, and it's right there on the description, at the top of the description, free crock pot. It's a downloadable product. Guys, we can't help you figure out how to use your device. So that's something you will have to do too. If you download it, just Google the instructions for whatever device you have. But it is totally free. Totally 100% free. And all we ask is that you review it after you see how much you love it. So, okay, so Mom's going to talk about other things aside from using the crock pot that, oh, Susan says you look so pretty.
Thank you, Susan. Well,
without using the crock pot, how can we save?
Yeah, it's so hot, and people are asking questions on summer meals. How do I cook in the summer? What do I do for summer meals? Because in the heat, you don't feel like fixing things. And we've gone over this a little bit before, but one of the main things I would do in the summer, and like I say, like Tara said, I live in Kansas. It gets really hot, especially in July and August. Well, the other morning before I came here, I woke up at 6:30 in the morning and it was 80 degrees out. It hadn't even cooled down in the night. So and that wasn't even the heat index. You know, we have humidity there that's can be pretty wicked. So I had to learn how to, especially being sick, how to cook in the heat of the summer. One thing I found out to do is do it as much as I can in the morning. If I'm going to do any prep at all, I've got to get all my prepping done in the morning, because by the time I'm hot all day long, and then it comes 4 or 5 in the afternoon, that's the very heat of the day usually back there, to try to even think of something to have, let alone stand up and cook something. It's just not going to happen for me. And the other thing is, keep it simple. I don't know
That's the
why.
biggest thing. People
For
just think
any
it's so
season,
complicated.
you don't need to do gourmet meals, and you don't need huge meals in the summer either. You need to think lighter, and you don't need heavy stuff. Stay away from things like mashed potatoes and gravy and roast beef and heavy stews and anything like that. I think most of you kind of know that just naturally, not to have the heavier foods. So fix the lighter foods. And do it in the morning. And then some of the things, like I say, get ready in the morning. What I mean by that is, I take if I have carrots or celery or green peppers, I will clean them and cut them in celery sticks, or I just clean the celery stalks. And I have a big large mug that I pour water in it like a vase and stick those celery stalks in there and set it in the refrigerator. That'll keep for a couple of weeks. Mine keep for a couple of weeks in the refrigerator like that. So you can clean up your celery first thing in the morning, have it all ready, and have the carrot sticks, in a bowl of ice cold water in the refrigerator. Some other things you can do.
Well, and if you use it for like tuna salad and chicken salad, you can go ahead and pre-chop the celery and
if you
carrots,
know that,
if you know you're going to be using it for those too.
Well, yeah. Well, one thing I was going to say, then if you decide,
or just make it up.
It's just sitting there in the refrigerator. Hard-boiled eggs. Do up a dozen, or however big a family you have, of hard-boiled eggs. I would, for a family of 4, do up a dozen hard-boiled eggs, because then, talking about the tuna salad, what you can do come evening, 15 minutes before you're ready for dinner, all what you have to do is open your can of tuna, pull out that packet of chicken that you pre-cooked, but we're going to get to that in a minute, from the freezer, and you can pull your celery out. It's all clean, ready to go. You just chop it up and throw it in with some mayo, and you've got tuna salad, or put it on a lettuce leaf. Get this stuff ready. One thing too is, I like to use grated cheese. Now you can buy, either you grate it yourself and keep it in there, or else you can buy the grated cheese.
But
it doesn't really matter.
nowadays, grated isn't any cheaper than the blocks.
No,
so
they're the same now. It used to be you had to,
yeah.
but now I use half and half. Just
so
what
check
I
your
have.
prices.
And keep lots of lunch meats, that type of thing, in the refrigerator. So if you're really hot and tired, just slap together a sandwich. Your family will not die of a menu of chips and sandwiches and some fresh fruit cut up. It's perfectly fine. Now, when Tara was talking about earlier, to mix this in with crock pots, what you can do is, it's June right now, and I would try to get a couple of roasts and a couple of chickens, once again, the size of your family, it depends. I would cook those up now in June. And then I would shred some of it up for to have in packets, some of it shredded. I would slice some of the roast up, because you can use the shredded for barbecue beef. But then the slice is so good. you can keep it very easy and have a good old-fashioned roast beef sandwich with mayonnaise and lettuce on it. You know, that's perfectly good for a meal. Then you can add a little bit of cottage cheese and, you know, something else really simple like that to go with it. So you have those packets already. Also, you'll have that meat cooked, and you can make up things like wraps, a chicken wrap, or
hamburger and gravy over toast, that kind of thing.
We've got a Cobb salad wrap on the website, you know, that you could make into a Cobb salad wrap. You could do fajitas. If you do hamburger up and have it all ready too, one of the meats you could do up ahead of time. You could just pull those packets of hamburger out, and tacos are just, you know, you really don't, not too hot. Fajitas, all those types of Mexican.
Burritos, tostadas, guacamole tostadas if you don't have meat.
And what was it you were going to have today? Oh, nachos. Dave was wanting nachos. You can have glorified nachos. You don't have to just have cheese on there. You can put hamburger on there with cheese and lettuce and tomato, some olives, salsa, whatever you want. And that's a full meal, just a totally complete meal. So look how many things we've named off just sitting here in these couple of minutes of meals that you could have, you know, and fix. If you've got that in there, you can have pork, do a pork roast. And then you could do a lot of things. Are you looking like, is there a question or something?
Nope, go ahead.
Okay, and then if you have the hard-boiled eggs in there, you can use those when you make up your tuna. You can chop up a hard-boiled egg, and that way I can make at least 4 tuna sandwiches out of that, or like I said before, with the lettuce, tuna salad on lettuce type of thing. So use a hard-boiled egg for that. You can use it to make up a Cobb salad, to make up a chef salad, to make a potato salad. You know, you've already
Tuna salad.
Sometimes for me, in my mind, if I've got part of the thing recipe that I'm going to make already fixed, I'm more motivated to just get up and do it. You know, if I got part of the stuff in there, because for example with potato salad, all you have to do is boil up the potatoes. You've already got the egg to chop up and put in there. You've already got the carrot sticks in there that you can just chop. They're clean. You can just chop them in. So you can, you know, do that. You have hard-boiled eggs in there. Make deviled eggs to go with one of your meals. They're so simple. And we've got the deviled egg recipe. It's in the book and on the website both.
So we got deviled eggs and dining on a dime, and on livingonadime.com, just search deviled eggs. And our search function is kind of having a brain fart at the moment. So when you go in, it says it's not found, but just wait like 3 more seconds and it'll be found. So just type in deviled eggs. Another
thing I like to keep ready and on hand, and I can keep it, now this depends on the type of lettuce that you use. I usually use iceberg lettuce. So I will chop it up and keep a bowl. I sometimes put a paper towel in the bottom of a large bowl and chop up 2 or 3 days worth of lettuce at one whack, and cover it then and just keep it in the fridge. So then if I want to have tacos, boom, I pull it out. If I want to have, what else? Oh, a salad, just a plain, you know, salad.
Or just put it on your sandwich or
anything. Now when you chop your lettuce, you can have a tossed salad too. Those are, you know, in the summer, that's an easy thing, is have a regular salad. And your family doesn't mind just simple basic things like a tossed salad. You know, it's a no-brainer. You can do it. But when you fix your tossed salad, it's so funny. Grandma and I get compliments on our tossed salad. Now, what is there to make it taste any better? We couldn't figure this out for years and years and years.
It's made with love.
It's made with love, I know. So we couldn't figure out why people kept complimenting us on our tossed salad. And finally, the only thing we can figure out is I do not tear my iceberg lettuce. It doesn't usually ever get brown for me or anything. What I do is I chop it with just a knife, and it's kind of almost shredded. I chop it up so fine. And I think people like it because they're not stabbing their fork and getting this big chunk. You know, have you ever gotten the big chunk you can't get into your mouth? It's too big for your mouth, but it's almost, you have to get the knife to cut it up. And I think people get a little frustrated eating salads sometimes, having to cut them, not knowing if they should cut them or just stuff them in. I know that's weird, but it bothers me. Doesn't it bother you? When you can't get the lettuce in your mouth at the restaurant or someplace?
Yes, it does. I hate having to cut my lettuce. I'm like, if I'm going to a restaurant and I have to cut my salad, that is too much work.
Well, when you
I
have
don't wanna have to
chronic
cut my
fatigue
salad.
like us, it's kind of hard. You try to think of all these little things like that to make your life easier. And so I know it's crazy, but keep some chopped salad or lettuce in there.
Yeah.
Keep your meals really simple.
Yeah.
Cottage cheese, we've mentioned this a million times, with a little bit of chopped diced up tomato,
Yep.
a little bit of diced up green pepper in there. My mother-in-law used to put some sugar with mini marshmallows in it. That's a really good, cool summer thing. Do fresh fruit. That's just a given, a fresh fruit plate. And you don't have to have a whole lot. I've seen, doing the watermelon thing that you dig it out and do all that. And then you throw the...
I
all
should do
kinds
that
of-
for a show once.
Well,
I
that
should
is
make.
so much
I should
work.
make. No, we should have Tara's version.
Tara's version of a cutout watermelon. But you don't need to have a whole bunch of those. Just buy a cantaloupe or a single watermelon and just have the cantaloupe for a side. You don't have to have 5 or 6 different things. Keep the ingredients small and simple. You only need 4 or 5, and don't have 25 different courses. Well, you've heard us say that. How many millions of times we say that?
Yep.
That's part of the secret, is to doing that.
So Kimberly has an idea. Blt Salads. That's a really good
Yes,
one.
yes, that's
And
really
you could put
good.
croutons on top, and then you have like a real BLT. Yummy.
Yeah, and that's
I
a
think
real good one.
That's
All
one of my
these-
favorite salads, actually.
And check out our website. Go to our salad. If you go to our website and type in salads, we've
Did
got
you say marshmallows with tomatoes? Oh yeah. I
cottage
didn't
cheese,
think-
sugar, and marshmallows.
Yeah.
The tomatoes and the green peppers is another version.
Yeah. So cottage cheese with tomatoes and green peppers, or cottage cheese with sugar and marshmallows.
Yeah, to do that.
And another thing on your cottage cheese, put a little bit of sprinkling of flavored Jello.
Oh yeah,
And some whipped cream.
that is really
and,
good.
Oh my goodness, you have the best dessert in the
Yeah.
whole world.
Just take
So-
and put any flavored Jello you want in with the cottage cheese and mix it with some Cool Whip, and you've got a really good
Yeah.
dessert. And have a fruit platter with cheese and cracker platter, and for everybody. And those things, they're simple and they take no cooking whatsoever. But keep cheese sliced in the refrigerator. If you get up one morning, just get that stuff taken care of, and you're ready for the week then to have all this stuff. You can just pick and choose what you want, like almost going to a buffet when you have that stuff in there.
Thank you, IR100, for your $1 super chat. We
Oh,
appreciate
thank you. Our viewers are so sweet. I just am amazed that our viewers are so sweet.
And don't let me forget, we have birthday presents for you.
Oh my goodness! I didn't know
Not
that.
even
You
the
kept them
boys,
hidden
they're for
from me.
you.
Wow. We have recipes like chicken kebabs. If you go in, and I know this is kind of weird, but go in our search bar on the website and just type in desserts, and you think desserts, but type in desserts, and under that we have tons of menus, summer menus, with simple summer desserts to go with them, several pages of it. So you just click in there, and that'll give you more menu ideas and really nice summer. We have a lot of summer desserts that are really cool.
Yeah.
But some...
Well, Becky wants to know, her lettuce always turns brown after she cuts it. Any good ideas?
I'm not sure what causes that, because I know a lot of
It's the kind of
people-
knife you use.
I was just going to say, I think it's the type of knife.
Yeah, I've heard if you use a plastic knife, like they have plastic lettuce
But can you
knives.
cut? Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You might
Yeah.
try a plastic lettuce knife, but I don't ever have problems, so...
Well, I don't either. Well,
And I've used
I mean,
different
after
knives,
4 or
so
5
you-
days, but not the first couple of days. So
Now, I
don't
do
know.
iceberg lettuce. I wonder if some types of lettuce do different, too. They
Maybe.
wilt easier. It might be, so...
I don't
But
know.
if you
It's
do
good,
have
yeah.
trouble, then you just have to, tear it up in littler pieces, probably.
Oh, interesting. Ellie says we add a little cottage cheese into our scrambled eggs, and the eggs are creamy.
Oh, that's an idea. Yeah, that's a really good idea.
What is Cool Whip?
Music Man wants to
Oh,
know.
Cool Whip is...
So they're in Australia or New Zealand? Australia or New Zealand?
do
I
you
can't
know
remember.
what whipped topping is? It's like frozen whipped cream. we get in containers,
Yeah.
and you let it thaw out, and then
But
use
it's not
it.
made with cream.
No,
it's
it's
made
artificial.
with soybean oil and sugar.
And you know what's so funny?
But it's so good.
I never ate whipped cream for
Whipped
years.
topping.
Because we didn't have whipped topping for
Yeah.
years.
Whipped
We
topping
had
is what it's
nothing.
called.
It was always pure whipped cream. And I would never touch whipped cream. And I was so excited when Cool Whip was invented because I love this stuff, which is crazy.
So
But
Kristen says once the lettuce has been cut, just simply cover it in an ice cubes and put it in the fridge. It'll make it crispier. You might want to... Yeah, but you would freeze your lettuce then, and then you'd have
well,
frozen
I don't know.
lettuce.
Maybe not necessarily. I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah.
Speaking of ice cubes, if you go on a picnic or something, don't forget to take a large, if you have something like potato salad and you want to keep it cold, get a large mixing bowl bigger than the size of the bowl that you have the potato salad in, put ice cubes in the bottom and set it in there, and that'll keep it cool longer than the 2 hours. I think it's 2 hours is what you can leave most everything out before it starts going bad for potato salad and things like that. We had chicken kebabs. That's another thing you can use for if you have chicken meat. You know, cube your chicken meat, some cubes up and put it in the freezer of chicken, and you can have chicken kebabs. We've got a good berries and cream dessert that's really simple in there that you can do. We've got dessert kebabs, which those are like you put chunks of fruit and then a piece of angel food cake or pound cake on a kebab and do it that way. Those are really easy, simple desserts to do, some of them. For the crock pot, we've got the recipe for Cajun pork and beans, where you do the hot dogs and the beans and with onions and barbecue sauce, and you can put that in the crock pot and do that. And then just add a salad. You've got a full-fledged meal. These are just some of the ideas. Here's one. Take a can of chocolate frosting, just the can. You can make your homemade one too if you want.
Yes, go ahead, sorry.
If you want, but just do that frosting in the can and thin it down a little bit, make not real runny, but little bit thinner, and cut up chunks of fruit and then use that as a fruit dip, which would be really for a dessert if you needed a quick summer dessert. And if you keep like a can of chocolate frosting on hand, then you have something.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to sneeze.
Really fast.
And you can also do easy s'mores where you take graham crackers and spread chocolate frosting and then either marshmallow cream, or if you want to roast marshmallows, just do it on your stovetop and make it easy. Indoor s'mores, really good. Yeah,
those are good too. Jello and ice cream. You can make any flavored Jello you want, and you make it up, and you put in 1 cup of hot water and then a 2nd cup of cold water, and then eliminate that 2nd cup of cold water, and in place of it put a cup of vanilla ice cream and whip it. You can use a hand mixer or a whisk and whip it up really good together, and then just put it in the refrigerator to set. And if you use orange Jello with the vanilla ice cream, it's like a dreamsicle or orange creamsicle type thing.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Yeah, it's super good. Brownie Sundaes. Now, this is another thing.
Holy cow! We've had like 100 people get the Crock-Pot ebook already.
Oh, wow.
Well, I hope you guys enjoy it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Early in the day, or like this time of year, it's just the 1st of June, do up a little extra baking. If you're going to make muffins, make like a double batch, put part of them in the freezer, and then you'll have, those are good to pull out for either dessert or for dinner or something like that. But for Brownie Sundaes, you can do brownies. If you're having the oven going, make sure you use it totally. Put in muffins and a pan of brownies and maybe something else, barbecue chicken.
In the winter when it's really hot, I'll fill the whole oven like with one thing.
Really cold.
Or I mean, no, in the summer when it's really hot, and I turn on the oven, I fill it all up. So I'll make a pan of brownies, I'll make a coffee cake, I'll make muffins, and then I'll make just like a regular cake or something and freeze it. And then we have baked goods for a week, 10 days.
Well, some of them,
but I don't keep heating it up all the time.
If they're stored right, you can keep them through the hotter days of July and August.
Yeah.
even if you have to. But then you've got the brownies in the freezer, and you've got unexpected company, or once again you're tired that evening. Just pull out those brownies and slap a thing of ice cream on top, and we've got hot fudge sauce or chocolate sauce in the book, and I think it's on the website. And you can make that up if you want, or you can buy your own. It doesn't matter, buy it. So whichever you want. And you've got a really quick dessert to do it.
Yeah,
So,
another one is to dip frozen banana slices into frosting too.
Oh,
Into chocolate
yeah.
frosting,
Yeah,
that'd
the
be really
fruit.
good. Leslie wants to know, how do you thin down the icing?
you just take a little bit of milk, or even water probably. You can do either or. And just, add a tablespoon, 2 or 3 tablespoons, depending on.
And if you're dairy free, just use rice milk or coconut milk.
Or you
whatever
can use
want.
water.
Almond
You can
milk.
just use water if you need to.
Yep.
Because I make for my gingerbread my vanilla frosting, I just use water, and I don't even use milk in it.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
oh, and you can make your own popsicles, of course. I don't know, does everybody know that you can make your own popsicles and stuff with
I have no
Kool-Aid?
idea.
If you do it with Kool-Aid or lemonade mix or Tang, the powdered mixes.
The juice from fruit cans. The juice from
Yeah,
cans
the
of fruit.
juice. Just take, and when you mix up the mixes like the Kool-Aid, use half the amount of water when you make a popsicle. Don't use the full amount because they won't taste quite as good. We even have recipes in the book, and I think on the website, for fudgesicles and pudding pops, and I think we have yogurt pops.
Yep.
Don't we have all those in there? Those are real, simple. But like I said, hit the website and click in desserts, and we've got, I can't even begin to name all of them on there. They're very simple things. We try to keep the summer ones pretty simple.
Yeah. Melanie got our book, Dining on a Dime cookbook, right here. She's wondering, are there any recipes that are in the book that can't be found on the website? Yeah. So there's 1,200 recipes and tips in here, and we probably have a quarter of the recipes in Dining on a Dime on here. We have a lot, but we certainly don't have all of them on the website by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe a quarter to a third of the recipes. So 25% off right now, guys. I'm down to like 120 some odd bucks right now. So.
Well, and one thing about the book too that's a little bit different than the website is we have like our leftover page, and we go in alphabetical order and tell you how to use. Like if you have leftover muffins, what do you do with the crumbs and that, or dried muffins and stuff like that?
So
what do you do?
So we have a tip index right here. We have a tip index for all of the tips. Okay. So because we have tons and tons of tips, and then we have the leftover index right there. So what we did in the leftover index was we took in by alphabetical order. We put ingredients. So, like, if you have leftover beans, if you have leftover beef, if you have leftover bacon, buttermilk, whatever you have left over, all the recipes are in there.
Leftover cake, leftover cookies.
Yep. All those things, and then the recipes to use
go
them.
with them are in the book too. So there's a lot of things like that in the book that we don't have on the website too. Let's see. I think, did you have anything you wanted to add to it, or do we have any questions or anything?
No, I think you hit it all.
I hit it. Is that good or bad? Did I talk too much?
Done in 30 minutes.
They love your words of wisdom that flow from your mouth, Mother.
So when you hear did you guys hit the tip Karen had at a picnic, fill a blow up baby pool with ice to keep all your salads cold?
Yes.
Yeah, Karen
Yes.
said fill up a baby pool with ice for picnics to keep your salad cold. That's a really good idea.
And that's another thing too with drinks. When you're going to go on a picnic or do something outside or whatever, if I have a lemonade, I fill like bottles or the cups or whatever half full, and I freeze them.
Yeah.
And then the next day I top them off and I take them with us, and it stays cold, for several hours. You don't have to worry about bringing ice along with you.
Yep.
Oh, and guys, okay, this is kind of a frugal tip idea. You do not need to go out and buy $50, $75, depending on the crowd, of canned pop, bottles of pre-bought iced tea, of pre-bought lemonade, juice containers. You don't need to do that. In the olden days, and don't you guys make a comment, but in the olden days,
Back in 1837.
before anything else was invented, I would take water. Sometimes water, if I was really desperate, we'd only use water on our picnics. But normally when things are okay, I would still just take and make up a jug of Kool-Aid, iced tea, sugared iced tea, or lemonade, you know, the powdered lemonade, and make a huge jug. And I would take this thing called cups. You know, we'd take these paper cups and we would...
A cup? What's a cup?
Because we didn't have bottled water and bottled this and that and the other. But just make up a couple of jugs of stuff like that. Then you don't have to, you know, take all these cans and all these bottles of everything and worry about trying to keep all that stuff cold. You just have cups with a bag of ice and call it good, really. And it's so much cheaper. I mean, the difference in the price is like pennies compared to dollars, a lot of dollars. Is that, you know, does that make sense? Because I see so many people. Oh, and we take on our cups, my mom does this all the time. We did it.
Ooh, is that FedEx?
We take and we take the red plastic cups you can buy here at the grocery, disposable like cups here. Now, they're disposable cups, but what she does is get them and she lays a Sharpie, a marker, right next to the cups when we'd have a family get together, and we'd pick up our cup and we'd write our name on them. And that way everybody knew whose cup was what, and we reused them. I go to events and things, people will take a cup, drink out of it, throw it out, get them another one a little bit later, throw it out. We had to write our names on these cups. Well, and she went even a step farther. We didn't throw them out after the picnic. We hauled them home and washed them, and she used them for what, 5, 10 years? I don't know. We've got some back from when the kids were like toddlers, so that's more than 10
We're
years.
still using... Oh, yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yep. And so, you know, you can use those over and over again, but they're plastic, so they're safe, easy to travel with. You can stack them together.
Or you can make a big cooler. Who was it? Kimberly said they make a cooler of Gatorade or Kool-Aid or whatever.
Yeah,
but
cooler.
here's the thing, make it half strength and then put ice in there, and then it doesn't get watered down.
Yes, always make your drinks, if you're going to pour them over ice, make them half strength, because
You mean
that's...
double strength?
No, you want to use half the water.
Yeah, that's double strength.
Oh, double strength, yeah.
Okay.
Use
Well,
half
I mean,
the
half
water.
the amount of water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Use half the water. Because I think that's why people sometimes don't like those drinks at picnics and things, is because they get so watered down, they do taste nasty, so you have to. Is there another question or idea?
Some people have done cucumber water, strawberry water, sun tea. By the way, our Dining on a Dime Volume 2 is going to have sun tea in it, and all those types of recipes that, you know, you're not supposed to do anymore, but
Yeah.
we have a way to do it.
And we're going to do a video on refreshing summer teas too. We're going to maybe be doing a video on that.
Thanks, Lee. Lee says, Tara, for all you do all the time, you always look so refreshed on videos. That's the miracle of makeup.
I know, and camera lights, huh?
I was just sitting back there thinking, I quit. This is my last show. I'm never doing this again.
I wish you guys could see beforehand. It's just like
We're
Tara's
all-
sprawled on the chair, I'm sprawled on the couch, and I told Dave, I said, okay, you need to get, they have these special shields they can put on the lights that kind of mush your skin tone or whatever, makes the wrinkles go away. And I told Dave he needs to put double shields, triple shields on
You
the
need
lights
a lot
tonight.
of mushing, huh?
Yeah, I needed a lot of mushing tonight, so.
Cucumber sandwiches, Michelle says. Yeah, that's...
Yeah, I love radish
radish
sandwiches.
sandwiches, I
You
was gonna
put butter
say.
on the bread, and then you put the radishes
Yeah,
or
so here's
cucumbers.
something funny. When I was pregnant with BJ, I didn't have any cravings for any of the kids except for BJ, and I craved radish sandwiches. There was like 2 months where all I could eat was radish sandwiches. It was crazy. Everyone's saying thank you for the free ebook. You are welcome, everyone. Once again, we have a new re-edited crock pot, our 100 crock pot recipes ebook. 100 recipes, guys. There's a lot in there. Free right now on our store, livingonadime.com. Click shop. The coupon code is right there in the description. Just put in the coupon code and it's free. It's an ebook for you to download. Karen got her ebook this week. Ah, yay.
I was going to say, well, you already said, when it's hot, like Tara said, be sure to use paper plates as much as you can, and those types of things. Keep that stuff down to a minimum.
Yep.
And
Yeah. So sun tea. So sitting the tea in the sun can make the bacteria grow, and that's really dangerous. And you'll get sick and die, and we don't want that. So what do? You just take the tea bags, put it in the water, and put it in the refrigerator overnight, and it does the same thing.
it's
You
the
never
tea
had-
bag
yeah.
sitting in the water. The sun
It has
really
nothing to
doesn't
do-
have anything to do with it.
It doesn't
Yeah.
have anything
Yeah.
to do with the sun. So it's pretty funny. In the South, they like mayo sandwiches.
Yes.
Mom's dad always had mayo
sandwiches or
That's all he
bologna with
wanted.
mayonnaise or
Kinda gross,
tomatoes with mayonnaise on a sandwich. Yeah.
Yeah, I love mayonnaise. Is my favorite condiment. If there's only one condiment left in the world, that's what I want is mayonnaise. Sorry, Jonathan, but you gotta have mayonnaise. Mom, how long are you here?
I'm going to be here till
When are you leaving?
a
You never
week from
told me.
Sunday. A week from Sunday.
Okay, so I can brace
Now
myself.
you can brace yourself that you've got to have me that long.
And I missed it. Somebody said, oh, Keisha? Oh my goodness. Keisha? She said, I have made your broccoli salad for every family party I've gone to, and it is always the first thing gone, and it's so cheap to make. Isn't it delicious?
Mm-hmm.
We love that salad. It's absolutely one of our favorites. Tammy, we have a free crockpot ebook in our shop right now. The coupon code's right there. You can go get it. We would love it if you guys would review it for us after you get it. Okay.
I didn't even mention too, hot dogs. You can do hot dogs and hamburgers very easily in the summer. I just think that's kind of a given. Don't you think most people know that?
Yeah.
That you can do. Yeah, Dave says yeah. So,
Yeah. All right. So post your questions, guys. If we got them, we can go through the ones that we have. Kathy wants to know, do I have a dairy-free chocolate chip cookie recipe? Yes, it's coming out in my gluten-free, dairy-free cookbook if I ever get it finished. But the secret is to just use the Nestle's dairy-free chocolate chips at Walmart. They're super good, and shortening or dairy-free butter for your oil. Am I doing another planner for 2021? So here's the thing. I wasn't going to, but I have had so many people asking that we're going to go ahead and do it. We've had so much going on. Just like, I can't do one more thing, but we went ahead and decided the printer that we were using is having a slow time right now. So as soon as we can find our drive, Dave is going to be making the new cover. Didn't know that, did you, Dave? And
For what?
for our planners.
Oh.
And so we're going to get
yeah.
started on those. Here's the thing. We're going to try and have them actually done by like the end of August or maybe September. So we can be getting them sold right away. So, and I only am going to have, I think 150 big ones and 200 small ones is all I'm doing this time. Just because with us moving and everything, we're not quite sure what's happening. So that's what we're doing. But yes, it's coming. Denise, a very good dip is 8 ounces of cream cheese and a jar of marshmallow cream. I have heard that. I have not tried that, but that sounds delicious. And serve with strawberries. I bet you could do kiwi or grapes or anything.
Oh yeah, yeah, probably.
That would be so good. Mrs. T, we make cucumber water and strawberry water in large gallon jugs. Yeah, some people were asking, how do you do that? You just cut up the strawberries, cut up the cucumbers, and throw them in there and let them sit overnight. And somebody said, I saw Jill's Fold Fitted Sheet show on Joe and Leah's YouTube channel a few weeks ago. I have no idea who they are, so I guess we'll have to go see. Did anyone else see that? I did not see that. I was wondering. Very interesting. Mom is the Fold the Fitted Sheet queen. 21 million views, I think we're at. Or we had 21 million
21
views.
million views. Who
How
would think I would be famous for folding a fitted sheet? How many people want to say be known as the person that showed the world how to fold a fitted sheet? That's a real accomplishment.
And here Mike and I were just like,
I know. They didn't want to do it. I suggested,
Why are we doing this?
Don't do it. Nobody will watch it. They said nobody will watch it.
She
Nobody's
was like
interested.
The persistent widow. She just kept bugging us.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, Christy, you will get a link in your email with the Crock-Pot ebook download on it. So everybody's dying to know about the house on Monday.
Oh.
I give up. So, Mike and I, as soon as the show was over, Mike grabbed a Hot Pocket. Yeah, we have Hot Pockets in our house. Mike grabbed a Hot Pocket. Yes.
That's another thing. Keep things like
Hot
breakfast
Pockets.
burritos and Hot Pockets in your freezer in the summer.
So, he got a thing of Hot Pocket and canned fruit cocktail, and that was his dinner.
I mean, we closed the show, and they were running out the door. It's like the kids that are sitting here.
It's a 2-hour drive to where the area we're looking. And so it's a 5-hour trip usually by the time we get done with everything. So we get in the car and we drive down there, and we get there and they are showing the church already. It had been, I'm not kidding, it had been on the market.
Well, it's a church that was 3
hours.
a house to them. So
Yeah. So, we're there, and we had an appointment for the next day to come back down, because we were like, this is it. We know this is going to be the one. We're sure this is it. I had already had my offer planned out in my head, was getting ready to call the realtor even before we looked at it and said, get the papers ready, because I know we're going to do this one. And we get there, and we're looking in the windows, and I was kind of like, ooh, I don't know. So the realtor was there, and she was showing it to somebody else. They were stepping outside, and I said, we just drove 2 hours to look at this. We've got an appointment tomorrow. Is there any way I could just run in and look real fast while we're here? And she's like, oh, yeah, sure. This is the second house that I have looked at that they're showing it to someone else, and I just go in and look at it.
It pays to
So
ask. It pays to ask on all these things.
It was open, and I didn't want to drive another 5 hours the next day
if it wasn't
going to work, or these people made an offer. I wanted to get an offer in first. Well, we went in, and it was nice, but it actually was just too small. The sanctuary,
Churches
I know,
are big
a 4,700 square foot church was too small, but it had like 4 separate bathrooms, which we could have knocked out. I told Mike, you guys, you got to think outside the box here. So like I told Mike, I said, well, it has 4 bathrooms and they have stalls, so more than one person can go in the bathroom at the same time, which would be great in our family. But I told
Do you mind if I use the second bathroom and not share
Yes,
a
Mother.
stall with my...
But I told Mike, I said we could take one of the other 2 bathrooms and leave one the toilet and make the other one into a shower.
Yeah, you could.
And then somebody can be taking a shower where somebody's doing their duty. And with
Or even more frugal, just stick a hose through the window and spray everybody down once a month.
And so, but then the sanctuary part that we were going to make into the living room and kitchen was actually really small. It wasn't any bigger than my kitchen and dining room and living room now. And so I don't see how they were able to put more than 30 chairs for a 30 chairs would really be pushing it. I would say probably closer to 20, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But in the end,
then they were
we
going to
drove
have a
down
housing
there.
area. They were putting a housing
Yeah.
area in
We
right
were driving
by
around the
a main
neighborhood.
road.
This was on a main road. There was a big forest fire where we were looking, and down the road they had bulldozed all the fire burned trees, and they're putting in housing development now. So in 6 months, the main road we would have been on would have just been horribly busy. And I was just like, the one thing when we're looking, the one thing I want is quiet. I'm not going to move unless it's quiet. Because my nerves...
You do realize you have to get rid of Mike and the kids if you do that.
Yes, I'm
don't you?
working on that. But...
You've got the kids down. Now it's
I've
just
almost
Mike,
got the
huh?
kids down. But we we're really, really hopeful, and we drove around. Mike and I drove around because the sun hadn't quite set yet, so we drove around and looked a little bit more just in and out of the little neighborhoods and stuff, just to kind of get an idea when houses come up. Oh, this is so-and-so street, or this is so-and-so area. And that way we can look. We're having a problem because it's in a mountainous area that 90% of these houses don't have internet. And we also want something that doesn't have an HOA, which in Colorado is almost impossible to find. It's like 95% of the houses in Colorado have HOAs. Well, now we feel like we really need to make sure that we have some land in case in case we have to store a plethora of RVs or tiny houses or who knows what, because our son informed us Monday that he is getting rid of his apartment and buying an RV and going to be living in that. And actually our daughter is wanting to do the same thing, and I kid you not, just 2 weeks ago, right before Mom came, as a matter of fact, she brought a whole carload worth of stuff. We said, you know what, why don't you sell your house and get an RV and live in Grandma's backyard for a few months until we find something. And so we may have, who knows, 6, 8, 20 RVs in our backyard. I don't know. But, but we're really feeling like we need to have more land. Like, Mike and I both keep thinking 5 acres. We're looking 1 to 5, but we really keep thinking 5 acres would be best for us, which is super hard to find in Colorado. I mean, you're talking millions of dollars to have a house with acreage here.
And part of that is they're wanting me to build a house to be close to them. So it's just not like them. And probably the chances are one or the other, the kids would probably eventually.
And see, when Jonathan comes out to visit us, he can bring his camper.
Of course.
What's hilarious about that is there was actually a house that came up, and it was only 2 bedrooms, but it had a campground attached to it.
Oh.
And the only reason why I didn't buy it was because it was a bi-level house. Even with 2 bedrooms, I probably would have bought it, because even if we get something smaller like that, we can just add on if it's cheaper, because we're looking at like 800 and 900 square foot houses. Well, we could use that for a studio or an office and build something if we wanted, or whatever. There's any number of 1,000 different ways we could go about it. But it's funny because I actually looked at a place that had campgrounds. Yeah, Wanda, that's why we want a place without an HOA, so that we can allow RV living. And our son, for those of you who don't know, he was really sick for, he got food poisoning in like 2012, and he's never been better since. And we ended up going to the Mayo Clinic and all this stuff. They never figured out what's wrong. Well, he's getting really sick again. And so he's like, Mom, he said, I just think I need to get something where I can just live. He's got a whole bunch of stocks that he's been investing in.
And he does have savings.
He's got a bunch of savings.
22?
He's 22. And he's got a whole bunch of savings and a whole bunch of stocks. And he's like, I can just live off of that, not have the stress of my job. If I'm living in an RV, it's $300 a month at the most to park it somewhere. So, and then if he parks it at our place, we'll only charge him $500 a month. So,
what?
Nobody got that. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We'll only charge her $500
instead of $300.
And plus, we're trying to find a place big enough so that Mom can build her own house, or we can have an extension on our house that is a mother-in-law.
A long extension.
Very long
with
extension.
a long hallway, like 5 acres long.
Yeah. So, anyway, we really kind of have a complicated mess, and quite frankly, what we're looking for is in the $1 million to $1.5 million range, and we don't want to spend that. So we're looking for something that we can fix up, or something that we can build on or adapt
to what we need.
I found another place that was from the 70s. And if we put $100,000 into it, it could be a really cute house. But right now, we're like, man, I don't know if we have the option to do that.
And once again, their house is a little more complicated. A lot of people don't understand, because it's the business. They're
Yeah.
not just buying one house. They're buying them a house, me a house, and having to do a full-fledged business. And this is
Yeah.
kind of their frugal way of doing a business, because a lot of people that go into business for themselves spend a lot of money renting and leasing buildings in
Yeah.
order to go into business. And now with all that's happening, they're crashing and burning because they can't pay the rent or anything like that. Where the way Tar and Mike are doing it, they're putting their business right there on the land with them.
Yeah.
And I mean, they can. Their business is the type that they can. And so that's how they look at things to try to save money and that type of thing. But that's why they need the 5
Yeah.
acres too.
Yeah. Why don't we make an offer on my grandma's property, because she's still living there. So she's living there, and I wouldn't want to live on her property. It's a nice property, but it's
It
right
is
next
nice.
to a highway, fairly close to a highway, and the noise would drive me batty.
Well, not only that, but they have to have streets that big, huge, like almost semi-type thing, truck can come down to deliver the books. And that's where they're having problems here. They're in a cul-de-sac, and to
Yeah.
get those trucks to, pull them down put the back down the driveway and that type of thing.
And we have looked at for sale by owners, but guys, most for sale by owner people are not reasonable. I'll just be perfectly frank.
Yeah.
They expect to sell the house for the price that
They think it's
worth with a realtor. So let's say I buy a $500,000 house. Well, they expect to get $500,000 out of it. Well, if 30,000 of that goes to the realtors, I expect to pay $470 for it. I'm not paying you when you're not getting realtor fees. I'm sorry, that makes no sense. When I'm doing all the work, that's why I'm paying a realtor to do all that work and all the hassle and all that kind of thing. So I don't mind doing it for sale by owner if it's priced
reasonable. But
accordingly,
they love
but-
their home, and a lot of them put a lot of work into their home, and they put a lot of value on the work that they did. And it's not, as far as the market goes, it's not worth it.
You can't put value. You may have had these upgrades, but you can't put your time if you didn't pay, and even if you did pay for it. Here's one thing with realtors. They'll go in and tell you, oh, you need to replace everything in your cabinets or in your kitchen so we can sell your house. You need to repaint the cabinets. You need to get new countertops, and then we'll do that. It's only $20,000. Take a home equity loan. And instead of your house being $500,000, it'll be $515,000 we can get for it. Hello? No one thinks of these things. If you spend $20,000 redoing your kitchen and your price goes up $15,000, you have lost money. No one thinks about this. And this we found one particular for sale by owner. We were actually very serious in going to do it. But here's some tricks that we've been doing. I'm just telling you guys this as you're looking for houses. So it went for sale in November. And this was a fairly expensive house, okay? So don't drop dead when you hear it. But when you think about the fact that we need a $50,000 to $100,000 building to put our books and office and that kind of thing, you got to keep it within reason. We are in Colorado and it's very expensive. But this house started in November at $705,000. In February, they raised the price to $729,000. We were going to go look at it. Even though it was way at the top of our price range, we were like, well, it has every single feature we need. Let's just go look and just see, maybe we could get the price down, something like that. So we go. It needs a new roof. Okay. The guy takes it off the market, puts a new roof on it, puts it for sale by owner for $749,000. Mind you, this whole time it's estimated at like $6 something. Then can't sell it for sale by owner at $749,000. Brings it back down to $729,000. Then hires a realtor at $729,000. And we're desperate for a house and it still hasn't sold. So we're like, okay, let's just go look at it again and see. Go look at it and we'll consider it again. Mike goes on Facebook and goes on the internet, finds out who the owner is, who the neighbors are, and he looks up the neighbors, and the neighbors have these huge dogs. I'm like, nope, I ain't moving with somebody with huge dogs. And then he's selling a concrete breaker. We're like, okay, why is he breaking concrete? And we're gonna be no, okay. But then Mike went and looked up the owner, and the guy's an insurance agent, and the review on there was like, this guy breaks all of his contracts. If he owes you money, don't ever expect to get it because you're gonna have to take him to court if you want it. And we were like, you know what? This is an unreasonable person. We are not going to waste a ton of time and energy. So really, guys, it pays for you to do really in-depth research on some of these places,
and
especially the more expensive
my son
ones.
moved into a house and had started having problems in this house. Just not, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago?
So he bought the house in June, right? Yeah, he bought it in June. That week, they started having major issues.
And the thing is, after the fact, they looked up the history on the house, or it's the realtor or somebody told them the history on the house after they'd bought it, and they'd had 4 people living in that house in 3 years. They kept selling it and moving, so you can tell something's
wrong
when that happens. Another thing, if you are planning on buying a house, when you buy that thing, don't go up to the maximum price that you have. You need to save at least $10,000 is what, more if you can, but at least $10,000 back to apply to all kinds of things that you're going to find wrong.
Well, here's what happened on the house before this one. Just to put it in perspective. We bought the house. They couldn't do a septic inspection, so we went ahead and closed on it. Come to find out, there was no septic at all. We had to spend $12,000 to put in a whole new septic system.
So you need to keep
for this house.
Yeah, you'll find things that you never, even with the house inspection. We have house inspections and everything, and things still happen.
Yeah. Everybody wants to know, what about the upkeep of 5 acres of land? Guys, where we're looking, it's forest. We're not looking at mowing grass or anything like that. We will have to do fire mitigation where you have to go in and clean up the pine needles and all that. But it's not like we have to mow every week.
You take care of the same amount as you would for a lot of land for the house, and keep around the house, and the rest is
And some people want to know, can you have a business? Because we are a home-based business, yes. It doesn't matter for us because garages are allowed for RVs. Since we don't have people coming to our place of business, it's not a big deal. Our biggest problem right now is internet. We just cannot find places.
Because
every time we find a place,
the live streams, we need good internet.
2 weeks ago, we found a place we just loved, and I mean, we loved it. And we were like, okay, this is gonna be it. It was in our price range. We were super excited. Could not get internet to save our lives. We would have to get a hotspot for like each family member, and then literally the hotspot coverage ended at the fence of the backyard. And we were like, that's not probably the smartest idea. So, with those kinds of things, since it's our business. So yes, Karen, I have considered getting a Morton building. The problem is when we looked into it, when we looked into the Morton building, it was still going to cost us. See, the problem we're having here in Colorado is the land. Land is at a premium. And just buying 2 acres of land is $350,000. Just right there. And that's the cheap land. So, unfortunately, we're just kind of stuck. But at the same time, we think something's going to come up. I still feel like something's going to come up. We're going to have to be worried, but...
You're going to have to be worried?
We're not going to have to be... What did I say? We're not going to have to be worried because... Hurried. We aren't being hurried.
Yeah.
We don't have to be...
We're taking our time.
Yeah, we don't have to be in a hurry because our house is paid off. We don't have to move. We kind of really need to move, but after the other day when we got to thinking about it, I was like, wait a minute, if the books come and they can't all fit in the driveway, we will go live and have a sale until we put the last label on that thing.
But
and
don't
take to
you
the
guys
post
pray
office.
that they don't get moved
Yeah,
so you
really.
can get a good deal?
Yeah. Are you not worried about this late in life buying a new home? No. Why would you? I don't understand. Why would you be worried in buying a house this late in life?
They have their mortgage is totally paid off, and they don't have
But
mortgage
even
basically.
mom's 70-something. She's
Yeah, and I'm gonna be
I don't
buying one
understand.
too.
And our house has increased in value a lot since we've lived here, so it's not that big a jump to.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
when they jump and sell their house, they basically
Yeah.
won't probably have much,
Yeah.
if any,
See,
of mortgage.
we paid $200 for our house and it's now worth $400 because thankfully for the first time ever we bought a house that was smart and we didn't lose money on it. We lost money on all our other houses because we moved in downtime.
See, and
so,
that's why we push getting debt free.
Yeah.
Because when you have no debt, no mortgage, it's very easy for you. You don't have to worry about bank loans and all those types of things. You can just look at something and find something to buy it.
Yeah,
So-
and somebody said, what about satellite internet? That doesn't work for us. It's not fast enough for us to do the live shows or upload videos. And
Sounds
somebody
like
else said,
consistent.
time to move out of Colorado. Talk to Mike.
I know.
I'm
I keep saying
okay.
maybe Wyoming, but
Well,
Well,
actually,
you say that, but then you go to the
I
humid
know.
places, and then you're like,
I
"There's no
know,
way."
I know. We looked in Wyoming, and Wyoming is just as bad as Colorado now because everybody from Colorado
Is
is sick of
moving
Colorado, and they've moved to
Wyoming.
Wyoming and made the prices in Wyoming and Idaho and Montana all go up.
Mike wants
so-
to kind of stay in Colorado.
No idea
No,
why.
Mike is okay with like other places with this kind of climate, but Mike is not okay with places where Tara is dead all the time from the humid.
So, I don't know. So we're not, do I look that old that I'm late in life? I mean, I'm almost 50, but my goodness. Is that late?
Maybe she meant me.
Is that late in life?
Maybe she meant me. I look
don't
that
know.
old. See, I told you, Dave, I look that old today, didn't I? Didn't I? Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. I don't know. All right, so that's what's going on with the house. We thought we had it, and we lost it. Sorry to get on a big old spiel about that. But part of this is knowing when you buy houses. Like the last house that we had to pay $12,000 on the septic, we had an inspection. But they couldn't inspect the septic because we'd had more rain than we'd had in 100 years or some crazy number. And everything was flooded. So it was either close and take that risk or not. And the lady, the realtor was like, oh yeah, it's no problem. I'm sure everything's fine. And we should have taken the people to court. Actually, I'm still ticked about this. But we should have taken the people to court because they built the garage on the little hole that was supposed to be the septic tank. And they knew full good and well what they were doing. And they were just not. And we went to mediation and paid half. But I was still like, they should have paid all of that because that
And
was
one thing. If you
I
do
wouldn't
get
have bought
an
it.
inspection, you have to. I advise getting a regular home inspector. But the other thing is, if you've got family members that know anything about plumbing, electricity, carpentry, anything, get them to inspect your house for you on top of a regular inspector. And I mean, do a thorough inspection.
Use your brain.
Yeah, there's certain things you
I
can
have found
just...
inspectors aren't really worth a hill of beans, to be honest.
No. Well, in one house that I was selling, we'd remodeled the house, and it was a 1917 home, and we were wanting to restore it kind of up to the original on some things, and we'd gutted the whole house, put brand new wiring. I mean, we were down to the 2x4s with everything. Wiring all the way through, fuse box new, and the inspector walked in and he looked at, we put the original light switch plate on it with the little buttonholes like that you use, and the inspector looked at that and he said, well, you haven't done a thing on the electricity or for the wiring or anything. I said, we've got brand new wiring. He stood there and argued with me in front of the buyers, you know, and he refused to budge. Well, then we get down into the basement, and he looks and he sees the new fuse box and all the new wiring going into it, and he kind of turns to the side to me, oh, well, I guess you did put new wiring in, but he didn't tell the buyers that.
Yeah.
He just told me because he didn't want to, you know, admit that he'd been wrong.
Yeah.
And so they just have, and then he looked in my sink. I had a pedestal sink, And I thought, this is not going to pass. This is not going to pass. I had taken these blocks of wood that we'd use for our piano parts. The whole back of the pipes, water pipe or drain pipe under the sink had fallen loose. And so I didn't know how to fix it. So I just pushed it up there, took these blocks and pressed it up there to hold it in place. And I'd used it like that for years. He didn't even see that. I mean, you would have to redo the whole thing, and he didn't even notice that. So, you know, you got to really have double whammy here.
And they said, well, what did they use for septic? So what happened was they had this cement septic tank sort of type thing, homemade septic tank. And what happened was we had sold our other house. We had been homeless for 2 weeks. We should not, this was our fault. We should not have closed on that house until an inspection was made. And this is where you learn the hard way. But we would not, knowing now what we know then, knowing now from what we learned then, we would not have bought that house without a full septic inspection. I don't care if we would have had to live in a hotel. But, you know, at the time, it was extremely stressful. We had 3 little kids, and it was a big old mess. And so, yeah, let's see. Wisconsin, you know, I went to Wisconsin's really nice, but actually in the long run, it's as expensive as Colorado from the taxes. So so we sat and figured, and because our taxes are so low in Colorado, so on a $700,000 house here, the taxes are $2,500 on average. But in Wisconsin, that same house is like $6,000 to $8,000. Well, we sat and figured over 30 to 40 years it would cost us the same amount. So it's a really nice place, but it's not really actually any cheaper. The prices might be cheaper, but because the taxes are so much higher, in the long run you pay the same.
We ruled one out the other day for that reason.
Yeah, we actually ruled out a house because, and different counties have different, and cities have different taxes. We want to be totally debt-free, so it matters how much we're paying in taxes. Because I don't want to sit and spend $1,000 a month paying one house we looked at in Wisconsin, the taxes alone were $1,000 a month for a $400,000 house. And that doesn't include the insurance. And so you need to look and see how much you're going to pay for taxes, because one county we would have paid 3 times the amount of this other county that we're looking at. So it does matter if you're going to be debt free. So, okay. Oh, I forgot. Open your presents.
Oh, okay. I don't have my glasses on. Oh, Margaret. Oh, Margaret. My first birthday presents. Ooh, look at that card.
Mom's birthday's in 2 weeks, but
can you guys see it okay?
What'd she do? I think she makes them. Oh yeah, that's pretty.
Isn't that gorgeous?
She makes the pretty. She made me some ornaments for the tree. They're so pretty.
Oh my goodness. Oh, how sweet.
Oh wait,
look.
How old are you? 69 this year?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. She's almost 70.
For chocolate. She's got a little pocket in the back, and she's got 4 chocolate. And here's the front. Isn't that cute? Oh, Margaret, that's so cute. That's one thing I've never been able to do very good.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
So pretty.
Thank you for chocolate. And I'm desperate. I am desperate for chocolate. Tara sent one bag back with Ellie. Got a knife or something.
Denise said, I never answer your emails. Why people need advice about soap. I'm not sure what you're talking about. We answer pretty much all the emails, so it must not be coming through for some reason.
Sometimes things get caught in spam, don't they?
Yeah, but we check our spam filters, and
Nancy, this is from
I don't
Nancy.
know. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I think I need to test it to make sure it's not poisonous.
That she might have sent me something poisonous?
I'm sure.
Oh,
I'm sure I need to test to see if it's poisonous.
Oh no, I'm not going to let Tara see this. This is Tara's all-time favorite.
What is it?
Oh, white chocolate.
I'm sure one is for me.
White chocolate. Oh,
I love white
yum. Oh, thank you. You guys. I love you guys. I wish we could have meetups. I really do. Wish we could have more.
So while you're reading the card, we've had a couple people. One lady said, Angela says her taxes in Texas are $8,500 a year, but Denise says in Tennessee's hers are $600. It really makes a big difference. It really does. And so,
Wow, 8,500.
yeah.
Thank you, Nancy. That is sweet. I'll have to email you.
So 8,500, there's $700 you're gonna
Thank you,
always have
guys.
to pay.
Yeah. $700 just for taxes you're going to have to pay. That doesn't
Plus
include
the
insurance.
So your
So,
minimum payment after the house is paid off would be $800 or $900.
yeah, I mean, you're paying almost $1,000 every.
And if you're going to be on Social Security or limited income, that can be kind of hard. So
Yeah.
you have to take that into consideration.
Yeah. So we really, we have a lot. Oh my goodness. Denise says hers are $1,400. Or no, $14,000 a year. That's over $1,000 in taxes just every month.
Mm-hmm.
So to put that in perspective, my house payment was $1,200
Yeah.
for my house payment and everything. So that's why it really does make a big difference when you get your house paid off. Yeah, in Arkansas, Albany
And if
Mountain
you have
pays
high
$900.
taxes like that and you're trying to get out of debt, it might pay to move into something less expensive,
Yeah.
cheaper, and then you can get the house
Yeah.
taxes down. That.
And that's one of the reasons why we've ruled out places like Wisconsin and Michigan and Michigan, the roads. I don't know what is wrong with those people there, but I've never seen roads like
roads
Michigan.
traumatized her.
No offense out of Goshen and Penny. I've never seen roads like that before. It's unbelievable. But, Louisiana, only $490 a year. There you go.
The heat and
I
humidity
could not
wouldn't
live in
bother you,
Louisiana,
would
I'm
it?
sorry.
She
There
can't
is
even
no
do
way.
Kansas heat and humidity.
Holy cow, Barbara's son and daughter pays $20,000 a year.
Wow.
What?
Good
Oh
thing
my
they've
goodness.
got in Austin. It's a good thing.
Taxes?
Austin. Mike's from Austin.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy. Come to Missouri. So here's the problem with Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska is the
She
heat and
keeps mentioning
humidity.
Kansas.
The heat and humidity is just too hot. Tennessee, North Carolina, the heat and humidity is just too hot and humid for me. Actually, we were down visiting Monday and I was just like, oh, this is so glorious. It's going to freeze here tonight. I'm so happy.
Yeah, they had snow in the
Yeah,
mountains.
you could. There was snow and
My
it was
mom wore a
gonna
coat
freeze.
over here
Yep.
yesterday when she
Yep.
came over.
So it's crazy, but all right. Don't forget to check out our Dining on a Dime cookbook right here, guys. I only have like 120
Thank you, guys.
left. Not many left on the 25% off sale. When they're gone, they're gone. I'm anticipating. Excuse me, I'm choking on an air bubble. I swallowed wrong. I have a swallowing issue. I didn't choke. See, I talked myself out of it. I got the bubble down. I think we have 8 to 10 days worth left at the current rate we're selling. I don't know. It varies, but just so you guys are warned, when they're gone, they're gone. Aprons, $15 off. Got about 50 or 70 left, I think, of these, maybe. I don't know. I need to go count.
You're not going to get any more of those, are
And
you?
I'm not getting any more of these. This is going to be it on the aprons. And don't forget to check out our free crockpot, 100 crockpot recipes. Go to our shop at Living on a Dime. The code is right there in the description. Yes, Michael?
A number of people were having problems figuring out where to enter the code, and you have to click the checkout button, and then the code thing is there before the part where you
Okay.
have to pay.
So if you're using the code on the free 100 crockpot recipes ebook bundle collection, they're printables. That was a mouthful. Click checkout and then enter the coupon code,
It's right above the page.
and it's right above pay. So you should be able to enter it right there. It looks like, let me go check and see, we have had, oh my goodness, we've had hundreds of people since the show started.
And you
getting
just
them.
ask them to review it.
Yep, and we just would like for
Review
you
it.
guys to review it once you get it and see how wonderful it is, because you love it. And if you want a, would you stop? Oh my goodness.
Dave's back there dancing. You should see
There's
him.
Max when you were 3.
He's excited. He wants us to get done so his birthday will come sooner
Because
tomorrow.
we didn't sing happy
Oh,
birthday.
we did sing happy birthday to him.
So there's a picture of one of the recipes, guys, right there, just so you can see it. Happy birthday, Dave!
Yes, we love you, Dave.
I'm gonna miss my 16-year-old because
He's
he's
gonna
so
be
wonderful.
17 tomorrow.
Gonna miss you. Do you think the 17-year-old Dave will let me give him hugs and kisses
I think
more
the
than the 16-year-old did?
No. No.
I don't think it will. It's kind of like when they hit 11, it just goes downhill. They don't want hugs and
What is
kisses
the
anymore.
coupon code?
I don't understand.
The coupon code is right there in the description, guys, of the ebook. Just click on it. It's right there in big letters. We're going to go eat our
No,
dinner.
you aren't.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys next time. Please visit us at
Bye-bye,
yes,
guys.
it is adjustable for the apron, and it has super long
Yes,
ties.
we made
super,
sure it had
super long
good
ties.
ties.
Um,
Pockets.
and pockets. Yep, and it's heavy duty. I've washed this one several times, and you can see how fresh it still is. So, anyway, hide your chocolate, Barbara says.
I will hide my chocolate. Trust me, I'm good at that.
It's just magically gonna disappear. in the morning.
Yeah.
It's magically delicious. All right, guys, livingonadime.com. We will see you on Monday.
Bye-bye, guys. Thank you.
Are we doing the single mom thing on Monday? I don't know. Did we decide?
All right, you ready to cut?
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.